For nearly a decade, a Cudahy family has been dishing out fresh salsa in the Milwaukee area. Fox 6's Suzanne Spencer shares the unexpected way food and tragedy brought this family closer together.
It is breakfast time in Cudahy, but here it is never too early for salsa.
We're getting the production bags set up.
This morning, it is 24 batches of mild. These aren't just any employees.
Sometimes you got to take care of your employees, but especially when they're your aunt and they're volunteering to be here.
24 batches would have been a lot years ago for Mama's Boy salsa. Now that's just a day's work.
I sold a case of salsa at Mayfair Mall before my shift for US Cellular. I walked around and sold 12 jars and got rid of all of them and was super excited about that.
A salsa businessman who admittingly is very particular, making the challenge even more inviting for owner Chris Konski.
What do you like about salsa?
I actually don't like onions or tomatoes. In like bigger chopped up forms, I don't like a pico de gallo. So, but in like a pizza sauce or a salsa, I like them blended and nice and fine like that.
An idea turned business opportunity when he and his mom realized just how much people paid for salsa.
Most moms and sons, you know, probably have their own careers, but you guys chose to do this together.
Well, yeah. I'm not so sure it was a chose at first. You know, it was just kind of like, okay, you're going to do this, I'll help you.
The mama in Mama's Boy salsa.
I am the mama. I think I'm everybody's mama now.
For Pat Konski and her son Chris, success is measured in jars sold of hand-cut ingredients, chopped, packed, blended, and bottled.
We've been friends for a while. Salsa brought us together.
Who wants to come in and cut 100 pounds of onions and habaneros and whatnot and cry and choke and do whatever we sometimes do back there, but we have fun.
Pat's quick wit and tough skin isn't just from chopping all those onions. Her family's spirit comes from layers of hardship.
When Mike was in the accident, I just didn't know how to handle it. It was very, very hard.
Mike was her brother. To hundreds of patients, he was Dr. Mike Shimetta. He served Cudahy as a dentist for decades.
Here's Mike in his fishing boat, because that's his favorite place.
Known for relieving debt of his patients, being a good businessman, and his love of the outdoors. Until one day, that all changed. It was Thanksgiving in 2018. Dr. Shimetta just had a meal with his family in Cudahy. He headed north to hunt, a route he had taken many times before.
But he would never make it. Here in Portage County, 150 miles away from his family in Cudahy, a driver with a trailer was crossing this bridge when they lost control, started tumbling through the median, landing on Shimetta's car.
911, what's the address of your emergency?
We are on the highway right now, and cars just got in a big accident. They are on fire.
There's vehicles on fire?
1 second this way or 1 second that way. So whatever the plan was for Mike, that's the moment that it happened.
Shimetta was killed. Just 61 years old, 6 months before he was set to retire.
I have taken it upon myself mentally to live how to live how he lived. So it's hard because you want to do it as good as he did it, but set a high standard too.
Healing came in an unexpected way for the Konskis 1 year after his death. Shimetta's family wanted to sell the empty dental practice.
We looked at this one and said, man, it'd be great to continue our family business and his family business like that.
A meaningful ingredient the Konskis didn't know they needed, repurposing Shimetta's old dental office into a kitchen for salsa making and retail space.
My first thought when we came in here was like, we're in Mike's space. I don't know if I'm comfortable with that, you know. And And in so many ways, he's kind of showed a lot of us that he hasn't really left completely.
Telling your story about your product is one of the biggest things.
A story with heart and a lot of hustle on the road would pay off when they signed their biggest deal yet with Wisconsin-based Sendix.
We only got into 5 stores when we first got in. Then we did sampling at each one of those, moved on to the next 4.
Business is speeding up. So are customers coming back for more.
My mom and I make this salsa, actually.
A business idea they thought was in the jar that turned into so much more behind the label for this family and community.
I think Mike would sit there and go, you're doing it the right way. Financially, I don't care what you're making. My mom chopped the onions for every single one of them. So that's not important to me. But you're doing it the way that you should. You're doing it with quality and you're doing it with care. I think that's the most important way to run a business.
With photojournalist Eric Litzine, Suzanne Spencer, Fox 6 News.
I know what you're asking. Where can I find this? You can find Mama Boy Salsa at Anytime Arepas inside American Family Field at 1840 Brewing Company with your beer and several local Sendix locations. And the family hopes to expand their salsa to new markets, including Madison and Chicago. You can also find other Wisconsin-made products in their Cudahy storefront called Market 30 that we just learned has such a history and such a close family tie now. They have to be there, right? They're meant to be there.
Yes, I'm glad you brought out where can we get that. Yeah, it was great. Suzanne, that was awesome. Thank you.